Alright everyone, we have a massive Wuthering Waves update today because after months of endless speculation, Electro Rover is finally right around the corner. Honestly, this might be one of the wildest kits the devs have ever designed, especially for a rover form. Not only do we have a much clearer picture of the actual release window, but we also have major news on their gameplay mechanics, best future teammates, and even early info on a dedicated Echo set. On top of that, we know exactly how they'll synergize with the upcoming version 3.5 banners. If everything we're seeing right now holds true, Electro Rover is easily going to be the most versatile character variant in the entire game. So, in today's video, we are breaking down absolutely everything we currently know about Electro Rover. Before we dive in, if you want the latest Wuthering Waves updates, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. The next few months are looking absolutely insane, with 6 upcoming characters, and I'll be covering everything right here. Plus, helping the channel grow brings us closer to hosting awesome giveaways, so remember to drop a comment down below. Let's not waste a single second and dive straight into the good stuff. First up, we need to talk about when we are actually getting our hands on this character. We have been waiting an incredibly long time for a new rover element, considering the last one dropped nearly a year ago. But the wait is finally over, because Electro Rover is officially arriving in version 3.5. The latest beta information points directly to a release alongside the massive new Mengzhou expansion, making a day one launch for 3.5 look practically guaranteed. Honestly, this timing is absolutely perfect. This new region is set to introduce a ton of fresh gameplay mechanics, and Electro Rover is clearly being positioned as the absolute centerpiece of the entire update. This mirrors exactly how Kuro Games handled things last year when we entered the Septimont region and unlocked the Aero element, and now history is repeating itself in 3.5 with Electro. Thanks to early beta leaks and recent gameplay footage, we now have a highly detailed picture of how this kit functions, so let's break down the basics. Electro Rover is currently built as a fascinating hybrid between a main DPS and a sub-DPS. Unlike previous rover forms that forced you to commit heavily to a single role, this new version is uniquely designed to flex between an on-field hypercarry and a supportive enabler for your teammates. The entire playstyle centers around managing and building up 2 distinct resources, which are currently translated as Electric Surge and Thunder Rage. Once you manage to completely max out both meters, Electro Rover enters a high-powered state called Apex Resonance, and this is where the kit gets completely out of hand. While inside the Apex Resonance state, you unlock a completely unique resonance skill called Thrum of All Sounds. This single ability allows Rover to do something completely unprecedented in Wuthering Waves. You can actually chain together the active skills of every single previous Rover element. You read that right. Electro Rover can simultaneously access the abilities of Spectro, Havoc, and Aero Rover all at once. Tapping the skill on the ground triggers a seamless chain of Havoc and Spectro attacks, while holding the skill lets you transition into Aero abilities while launching yourself directly into the air. Even while airborne, you can continue chaining additional attacks. What makes this even more insane is that the damage scaling actually shifts to match the specific element of whichever skill you are currently chaining, making Electro Rover a literal walking compilation of every form we have unlocked so far. Beyond the elemental mixing, the actual visual moveset and weapon mechanics look spectacular. The early data reveals that Electro Rover utilizes a highly advanced transforming weapon. Instead of a traditional blade, they will be wielding a sleek crossbow that can actively transform into a defensive shield during combat. Your kit allows you to fluidly shift between these weapon forms right in the middle of your combos. When you combine transforming weapons with multi-element chaining, this is easily shaping up to be one of the most mechanically engaging and fun playstyles ever added to the game. Best of all, it will cost you absolutely zero astrite because it is a completely free, unlockable form for every single player entering the 3.5 patch. When it comes to the actual rotation, your main goal is staying on the field just long enough to battery your meters, pop Apex Resonance, and cycle through those legacy skills. Kuro Games also added a layer of strategic decision-making here because the Resonance skill changes entirely based on how you input it. A simple tap version focuses heavily on team utility and off-field support, which is perfect for a sub-DPS playstyle. However, holding down the skill triggers a much more aggressive, high-damage stance, tailored specifically for a main DPS setup. This means you get to decide on the fly whether you want maximum personal damage or team-wide utility. To make things better, the utility side is no joke. The outro skill apparently grants a massive 20% all-damage amplification buff to the next character taking the field, ensuring incredible universal value even in non-Electro team compositions. This brings us directly to team building and future synergy. If you saw my recent character breakdowns for the upcoming 3.5 banners, you probably noticed that Rover fits perfectly alongside both Yang Yang and Sui Sui. This three-character core looks incredibly synergistic for the start of the Mengzhou arc. Yang Yang benefits immensely from Havoc Bane mechanics. Sui Sui provides essential healing alongside damage amplification and debuffs. And Electro Rover glues everything together with extra offensive buffs and Electro Flare reactions. Together, these three might just form the most dominant team composition for the early expansion. However, that is just the baseline. If we look further down the roadmap, Electro Rover's absolute best-in-slot partner is going to be Xin. As we know from the recent Mengzhou drip marketing, Xin is slated to be the next major 5-star Electro powerhouse. Multiple reliable sources have consistently linked her kit directly to Electro Rover as a definitive premier duo, meaning the developers are actively designing the future Electro meta around these two. To back this up, we also have confirmation that a dedicated Echo set for Electro Rover is arriving in version 3.7, which strongly implies that Xin will likely debut in 3.7 as well, allowing you to finally unlock Rover's absolute maximum potential. Ultimately, Electro Rover is shaping up to be a massive milestone for the game. We are looking at entirely new mechanics, premier future teammates, a dedicated Echo set on the horizon, and an incredibly unique playstyle that completely blows previous Rover elements out of the water. If these beta numbers and mechanics make it to the live servers intact, this will easily be the strongest free unit we have ever received. We are definitely still just scratching the surface of what this character can do, and as soon as more concrete frame data drops, I will be right here covering a full, in-depth kit breakdown on the channel. I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. Are you hyped to main Electro Rover, or are you saving everything for limited 5 stars like Yang Yang or the future synergy with Hassan? Let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an upcoming Wuthering Waves update. We have a massive week of news ahead, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.